Hello, this is Akira from Key Operation. This time we would like to present one of our latest housing projects in Yokohama,桜木町. Since 2002, the local community, the local city government and the police office started the gentrification of this area, and all the illegal prostitutes were gone. However, this gentrification has also taken out the traffic of the area. So now, the local government is trying to make the new urban planning, which is a mixture of the residential building and the commercial buildings. In 2005, an urban redevelopment project in front of Hinode Station is completed, which is called Hinode Sakwas. The lower level is a commercial and the upper part is a residential, so they can bring the population to the area. There used to be a DIY store at the site of this apartment, and we built 109 units in 11 stories. And most of them are for the single people, which has 23 to 30 square meters. The individual owners will purchase the units as their property investment and rent to their tenants. Most of the large apartments in Japan has balconies, which dominates the facade design. There are mainly two reasons why we have these balconies. First reason is because of the fire escape. In order to reduce the number of the escape stairs, we can put the fire ladders at the balcony. If you make the continuous balconies with the breakable partitions, we can share the ladders. The second reason is because of the external units for the air conditioners. As each flats are owned by the individual owners, these units have to be installed at the place that can be easily accessed. Therefore, these balconies are very convenient for that. As you can see, Hinode Sakwas, when you mix commercial and the residential, the facade tends to be separated completely because of these balconies. As mentioned in the video of Yokohama Kanmai apartments, in Yokohama City, there are some post-war concrete buildings which works as a fire break. This is one of the most well-known fire break buildings, Benson Building, which is built in 1955. There are commercial on the ground floor and first floor, and the upper parts are residential. The openings of the upper part have the external corridor behind, so there are no glasses, but the sides of the opening are the same as the one from the lower part, which have glasses. By doing this, the facade will have consistency and there are no separation between the commercial and the residential. For this project, instead of showing the bare balconies, we put another layer of the wall with the openings. By doing this, the convenience store on the ground floor and the apartments at the upper part will be unified as one facade. This will create a unified urbanscape. Moreover, like the apartment in New York, these openings on grid will hide units behind, and it can be a larger flat having many openings, or can be a small flat with one opening. We didn't want to show the small units of the facade. So by having the homogeneous openings, we can hide the units. The material of the facade was also one of the important issues of this project. As Yokohama has a historical background, opened as an international harbor in early 19th century, there are some old buildings which has the facade with bricks. Our client asked us to use the brick tiles as the tenants tend to prefer the brick facade rather than the concrete facade. Many of the condominiums have tile facade. These condominiums have been started after the 50s, and originally the facade was finished with paints. Since the bubble economy end of 80s, the tile facade became very popular as it can express the luxury on the facade. The developers also presented to their clients that these tiles are durable and doesn't need any maintenance compared to the painted facade. However, the reality was different. The tile itself is durable, but the grouts and the joints are not. There are many incidents that the tile come off the wall, and there are some serious cases that they injured some people walking on the street. Since 2008, it became obligation to check tiles every 2 to 3 years, and all the tiles every 10 years. When the tiles come off, we need to replace them, but it is very difficult to find the same tile to match the existing after 10 years. Therefore, some developers avoid the tile facade these days. For this project, we brought the atmosphere of the brick, but without using the tiles. We casted the shape of the brick on the surface of the concrete directly. The form liner is made of rubber, and we put the face of the formwork of the concrete. The form liners can be reused, so we brought form liners for 2 levels, and we used for 11 levels. The texture of the concrete is inconsistent, so it looks as if a natural grey brick. There's another interesting texture we introduced for this project, this wood texture. In fact, this wood texture is not real. Even these balconies are common area. Legally, they are not used by each owners. Therefore, the developers often avoid having natural material which can decay. Therefore, even for this flooring, they're not real. Which one do you think is real? One is made of veneer and one is made of plastic. Please guess. This is the one is plastic. Obviously, you cannot see through the camera, but also in real, sometimes it is hard to say because they are so well done. We originally thought that we have to use printed aluminum like this. We couldn't afford it because they are too expensive, but I also felt that they are too perfect and missing something. The fitting of the handmade craftsmanship. Do you know why you see the wood grains? As you cut the annual rings vertically, you see the wood grains. The trick of these wood grains are the same. This brush has the shape of the annual ring, and if you stretch them, it shows the wood grains. You put the light color as a base, and you apply the darker color on top, and before the paints get dry, you stretch with this brush. By having different angles, the shape of the wood grain will have different shape. In fact, each pattern will never be the same. The front side of the ground floor will be a convenience store. Well, they're not in yet, as far as understood. Because of the height restriction of the building, the floor level is under the ground level. The height of the opening of the store is the same as the upper residential part, so they are well unified. As we're given the front facade to the convenience store, we put the common entrance of the residential area on the side. And we still wanted to keep some commercial fitting for this entrance too. So we put the sign which looks like a cafe. Okay, let's go inside. Actually, this is a security system. You can either put with your number, or you can either use your face, or you can use your hand. So this is the security gate. We have nice image chair here, and these are the post box for the tenants. And actually, we put the wood texture here too, but as you can touch at this common area, we put the real wood veneer here. Following the grammar regulation, it is necessary to have certain number of car parks proportional to the number of flats. For this apartment, we needed to put 22 car parks. Therefore, we put the mechanical car park tower. In front of the lift, we have another security system, which is the same. You recognize your face, or you can put your vein to the system. So let's go upstairs. So now we're on the 10th floor. So let's look one of the flat. So now we're at the entrance. We have this shoe cupboard. And then we have the bathroom with the hand basin and the unit bath. And then we carry on. have the toilets. Oops, the lights are not on. Here you go. And then we have the kitchen with the gas cooker and the sink. And now we're in the living room. So let's have a look also at the balcony. Actually, this is the escape ladder that I mentioned earlier on. So basically people in adjacent flat, they will go through this panel. This is breakable. And then you enter here and you share this ladder. So let's have a look at another flat. This is a common area. You can see the car park, the mechanical car park. And we carry on. So now we're at the corner flat. We have a shoe cupboard here. And one of the interesting things of this corner type is we have those huge windows through the corridor. This is the toilet. And this is the bathroom. And the place for the washing machine and hand basin and the unit bath. So let's carry on. Again, we have another window in front of the kitchen. It's very bright here. We have a gas cooker in the sink. And then we carry on. We're in the living room. And then we have the balcony. So these are the services that I mentioned earlier on. This is the air conditioning unit. We didn't paint it because it's not visible from the street level. And this is the boiler and the ventilation slots, which we painted in charcoal grey. This is the balcony light, which is very important. The electricity of this light is not supplied from each tenant, but it's from the common area. And from the evening till midnight, these lights are on with a timer. So the light itself is not very strong, but it can lit the whole warm wood grains. So it has a very nice warm atmosphere towards the city. For this project, we think we managed to propose a new facade that can unify the commercial and the residential in the urbanscape. We also express a different texture, even they are all made of concrete. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.